We've got FPL and we've got the Euros. So much football going on. So I have a busy month and a half ahead of me, don't I? Considering the fact that Euro 2020 is still going on and the FPL game launched yesterday. So if you haven't checked out my video from yesterday with my first draft for the FPL game, please do go and check that out. However, we are here to talk about Euro 2020 and the round of 16 or match day 4, however you want to put it, where we have unlimited transfers to set ourselves up for the knockout stages of the Euro 2020 tournament. I'm not going to lie, even though the budget has gone up a little bit, I have struggled to get in the players I want. But I'll show you the draft I'm currently sitting on, and of course this is done before even the England game has been played, so much football still to play. This could definitely change, but I wanted you guys to see my draft so far for the round of 16 onwards. So we get straight into the video and we're going to talk about how I've done it in Matchday 3, and I did play my wildcard. Now I do apologise for there not being a video for Matchday 3, and that's purely because I was unfortunately ill over the weekend and couldn't get a video up for you guys showing you my wildcard team for game week or Matchday 3. So instead you're going to see the end results of that wildcard, and we start off with the goalkeeper and defence. And at the moment we have Safanov playing in goal, and he managed to get 2 points, with Munier and Dumfries getting disappointing 1 point each, and Mahel from Denmark having an absolute blinder. Although they did concede a goal against Russia, my defender from Denmark did get a goal, which of course got him up to 8 points, which was very appreciated because so far my defence had done terribly. Moving on to the midfield, and we brought in the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Chiesa, Alaba and Yarmolenko. And now Yarmolenko did great for me in Matchday 2, but didn't really get the job done in Matchday 3 as Ukraine failed to beat Austria. However, I did have Alaba, who got the assist for Austria's goal from a corner. Alaba has been quietly getting me points every time I put him into my side, so we're happy with that. De Bruyne played a great game, could have potentially had 2 assists in that game, but Lukaku was given offside for one of his goals. But Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku look dangerous, and I was a little bit disappointed in myself for not sticking Lukaku in this side, which you'll see when we get to the forwards. And Chiesa was a punt on the Italy team beating Wales, which they did with a much weaker lineup. Although, to be honest, they still played pretty good football against Wales, and Chiesa didn't get anything in that game, which is unfortunate. But we waited till the lineups were announced for that Italy game, and we went with Chiesa because that's what fit our budget. Then up front we have Yaremchuk from Ukraine, who unfortunately again didn't get me any points, 2 points, which was very disappointing. And Mbolo, and I know everyone's going to say this, I was very close to having Shaqiri in my side, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So to be honest, that's on me. That was my decision. We went in Mbolo instead, and he only got 2 points. But we do have a successful captain already in the bag, with Memphis Depay getting 12 points from a goal and 2 assists. And that's giving him 24 points in total for my side. And that leaves us currently sitting on 57 points for this game week, and 188 points in total, and we're just outside the top 10k, around 12k. And we do have a full bench to bring in, not today when I'm recording this, but the day that you're watching this, we are bringing in a bunch of Germans and a bunch of Spaniards, as we have Simone to come in goal instead of Safanov, and Torres to come in the defence instead of Munier or Dumfries, and hopefully Spain can keep a clean sheet against Slovakia. And then we have the Germans coming in. We have Gosens coming in for the other 1 point defender, and then Havertz can come in, of course, for one of my midfielders or strikers that got 2 points. We're very hopeful for Gosens, who had an amazing game in Matchday 2, and we're hopeful for Havertz as well, who looked promising and has looked dangerous recently. And we're just hoping the Spanish defence managed to keep a clean sheet. They do need a result in this game, so we have our fingers crossed for a better game week than we already have. If you're enjoying playing Euro fantasy football on the official website, do consider checking out Fanteam, which will be the top link in the description down below if you want to play fantasy football games for money. Every game that you can enter on Fanteam does have a small entry fee, but then you can win big money. At the moment, I've been doing pretty decently on Fanteam, getting some wins on their daily games in Matchday 1 and Matchday 2, and hopefully I'm going to win some of that big money in their Fanteam Euro 2020 game. But check them out because the Premier League will be starting soon and you can enter their Premier League Fanteam fantasy football game, and I'm sure they'll have some big prizes there for you to win if you do have a blinder of the season. So Matchday 4, round of 16, we have got a lot of decisions to make and we're probably going to change this team. So I will try, and I probably will forget, so apologies about that, but I will try to post on YouTube and on Twitter my finalised team for the round of 16, but we have unlimited transfers. So the team has changed around a lot from what you've probably seen in previous videos. In goal, we have Donnarumma, who I think Italy have just been really good defensively and going forward. And I expect Italy to still keep some clean sheets moving forward until they face some elite competition. With that in mind, we're also keeping Spinazzola in our defence as well and bringing in the likes of Gosens, who seemingly plays as a left winger. At least that's what it looked like in that Portugal game. No one seemed to mark him. I don't know why. Pavard is coming in to cover the French defence, although we might go cheaper here because, to be honest, I don't see Pavard having as much attacking threat as my other three defenders here. And Dumfries at 5.6 million is staying in the side because, a bit like Gosens, he just gets so far forward it could see a few goals and assists in its locker. Just to clarify their attacking threat, Dumfries has 6 shots on goal in total, all 6 coming from inside the box and 4 big chances. That's an incredible number. That's better than some strikers in this tournament. And he's had 4 shots on target. Gosens himself has had 3 shots on goal, all from inside the box and 1 big chance, and all 3 also on target. And Spinazzola also with 3 shots on goal, 3 from inside the box and only 2 on target. All of 3 of them have great attacking output, as well as does a defender on my bench, which we will get to. We then move on to the midfield, and Berardi is just such a cheap way into that Italian midfield at 6.2 million. We kind of have to go towards him just to fit in some of the other players we are considering. But don't let that fool you, his price tag, because he seems like a great option in this game with his attacking output, as does Wijnaldum, who for some reason plays a completely different game for that Dutch side and is one of their best scoring players in recent history in that Dutch side and just seems to be popping up in the right place at the right time. We then have Kevin De Bruyne, who has looked on fire ever since joining the Belgian team in the starting 11, and him and Lukaku seem to have an understanding that could just grow and grow in this tournament. And then Kai Havertz at the moment is the player we're going with, although this could change after some of the games left in Matchday 3, but Kai Havertz looked good against Portugal. To put it in perspective, Wijnaldum has had 10 shots on goal in total, 7 from inside the box, 3 big chances, and 4 of those shots being on target so far, with Kai Havertz having 5 total shots on goal, 4 from inside the box and 2 big chances, with 2 of them being on target. Meanwhile, Kevin De Bruyne, despite having less minutes than a lot of players in this tournament, has managed 9 chances created, with 4 big chances created, the most of anyone in the tournament so far, and 2 assists. So I'm feeling very confident with my starting 4 in midfield. And then finally we move up front and we are going with Romelu Lukaku because he's looked such a threat leading that Belgian team going forward. And we're also going with Mbappe. Now, Mbappe is the one I'm considering changing to someone else, because although he has looked very good in that French side, he's not been returning the fantasy points. And because this game is such a short game in comparison to, say, the Fantasy Premier League, we have to get the points now and not wait for those returns to come in. Lukaku is a pretty safe bet, though, at 11.2 million, so we're definitely going with Lukaku. But there are other strikers we could consider over Mbappe. Depay is one of those players. He's had 11 shots on goal in total, 7 from inside the box, 4 big chances with 4 shots on target. Cristiano Ronaldo, if I'm confident in the Portuguese team, has also had 4 big chances, as well as Immobile and Morata also getting 4 big chances. Lukaku's only got 3, but of course he is doing really well, getting 3 goals in total and currently being one of the men leading the way for the Golden Boot. And there are cheaper options like Arnautovic that could come into the side, who also has decent underlying numbers. And then finally we move on to the bench and we have Stekelenburg in goal, purely because he's 4.7 million and he's starting for Holland. That is a bargain in goal for our substitute goalkeeper. Gregorich, also at 5.6 million, is someone we have at the moment. That is purely because of his price to stay under budget. If we do go cheaper on the likes of Mbappe and Havertz, then potentially we can upgrade this position to have a better bench. The Denmark defender that I can't say the name of, he isn't going anywhere just because of his underlying attacking numbers. And then we've got Dan James as the final substitute. Again, I would ideally like to improve on this, but there is in the back of my mind the consideration that if teams go through that I'm not expecting to go through and teams get knocked out that I currently own the players of, I will be taking minus points hits to keep a full squad of 15 or to keep a starting 11. So I'm trying to hedge my bets a little bit and pick players from sides that may not go through but could go through, and then I'm not hedging my bets all on certain teams and then finding myself short when we get to the quarterfinals. Anyway, guys, in the comments down below, let me know what you think of this team so far. It does need some improving after some more games are played, but let me know what you guys think so far. Also, make sure again to check out my video from yesterday with the launch of the Fantasy Premier League. Go give that video some love. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on this video. And with that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.